Jay joining us from the campaign trail where he is out there, trying to shake every hand. He's got a rally coming up later on this morning in Northern Virginia. But I've got to ask because I worry about our own infrastructure. He is Glenn Youngkin for governor. Good morning, Glenn. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, good morning. Great to be with you this morning. It's a beautiful day in Virginia, and guess what? There is a new day dawning, and you can see it all across the Commonwealth. The enthusiasm for our campaign is absolutely amazing. And, Joe, we are marching to victory here on November 2nd.
We watch, and the news is consumed with this ability of the Port of Los Angeles to even operate. And if we don't do something, I mean, this 2050 agenda of Governor Newsom, I mean, Northam's here in Virginia is going to continue. I think Terry said he's going to just redouble his efforts on some of the green lockdowns that are going to cripple our ports here in Virginia.
Well, by the way, the entire framework that Joe Biden has put in place, where he basically incentivized people not to go back to work, he's unleashed runaway inflation. We have supply chain backups all over the world because we have a bunch of people who are running things who have no idea how to run anything. And this is what you get. This is what you get. And this is what Virginia has got to know that Terry McAuliffe represents fully. I mean, Terry McAuliffe stands for every single one of these issues that Joe Biden is put in place in America and is ruining America. Mm-hmm. I mean, and when Terry McAuliffe was governor of Virginia, he, in fact, made all these outlandish claims about things he did. And let me just tell you, he has no idea how to manage an economy. He has no idea how to create jobs. In fact, this weekend, Joe, I don't know if you saw this, the Richmond Times-Dispatch comes out and did an audit of his job creation. What you find is of his 79 deals that he touts, the majority of them failed to create the jobs they targeted, and 32 of them yielded zero jobs. Mm-hmm. And so now we, on the back of that, see runaway inflation, coffee shops can't get lids and tops, and we have the lowest labor participation in the history of Virginia. And I just asked Virginians, who are you going to trust to get this economy going? Terry McAuliffe's failed record, or a guy like me who has spent 30 years in business, who knows how to build business, create jobs, get things moving, and understands how to unlock Virginia's future.
Well, it's amazing. You watch the Port of Los Angeles and these tankers that are burning bunker fuel, and supposedly this is a greener solution than having lots of trucks able to get into the port and unload this stuff. And we gotta break free of that. But you mentioned the Richmond Times-Dispatch, Glenn. This is joining another cadre of press who are out there, turning on Terry. I mean, you see the number of Pinocchios that he's collecting from the Washington Post. His ads are just laughable. They're like Saturday Night Live skits. They're so outrageous that you can't follow them. I think that even bringing Stacey Abrams to Virginia isn't going to help him.
Oh, my goodness. Well, what you see now is what a failed politician does when he absolutely sees his campaign just sinking. I can't put it any other way. We are surging ahead. We're up in the polls now. We see Virginians all standing up. I'm getting endorsements from all over the Commonwealth, from small business groups, from law enforcement, from the Hampton Roads Black Caucus, literally, Democrats are coming up to me saying, we're voting for you. And what does Terry McAuliffe do? He doubles down on his lies. He brings in people into Virginia that stand for defunding the police. He's on his defunding police tour right now. I mean, this is a guy who does not care about Virginia. All he cares about is staying in power. And I'm telling you, this is what Virginia see clearly. I'm going to go to work for Virginians. What's happening right now is everybody's scared to death about what I'm going to do. I'm going to disrupt all of these entrenched interests in Richmond. You saw Dominion Energy over the weekend funding against me because, they overcharged Virginians $1.2 billion over the last few years, and they want to keep Terry McAuliffe because they know they have somebody that they can manipulate. And Terry is bought and sold by them. I'm going to stand up to Dominion Energy and say this is Virginians' money, just like I'm standing up for our tax dollars, where we have the liberals in Richmond that have overtaxed us $2.6 billion, and I'm going to have a tax rebate and get Virginians their money back.
I thought that the left was against big corporations like Dominion. So you're telling me that Dominion is funding a PAC to campaign against you, Glenn? That's fascinating.
Dominion funded $200,000 into one of these shady PACs called the Accountability Virginia PAC. And what they're doing is supporting Terry by telling Republican voters, well, that maybe Glenn's not Republican enough. Hear me right now, Virginians. I'm going to stand up for you and push back against these entrenched interests. And, oh, by the way, Terry McAuliffe stood up and said, I'm not going to take any money from Dominion. And, of course, he puts it into a shady PAC. This is what he does. The guy cannot be trusted. He's never even encountered the truth. And I cannot wait to go work for Virginians and provide the kind of leadership, the kind of service that Virginians deserve. We're going to have the best jobs. We're going to have we're going to get our taxes down. We're going to have the safest communities. We're going to have the best schools, and we're going to get Virginia moving.
I'm worried because I'm hearing rumblings that Terry is going to double down on that clip from the debate. I know you've had an ad with him saying, I don't want parents telling my schools what to do, that he's going to grab clips of Charlottesville's riots in 2017 and January 6th and start saying, yeah, you see, these are the parents. I don't want them to have involved. Talk about what you're hearing from parents, no matter what their political ideology is, because I'm sure you're hearing from them, Glenn.
I have heard from so many parents, not just across Virginia, but across the country. And Virginia parents now recognize Terry McAuliffe doesn't represent their interest or their children's interest. He represents government and the education unions. And that is so clear. He does not want parents to have a say about what happens in school. He said it. Parents have no role in their kids' education. Well, in Virginia, we have a fundamental right from parents to make decisions about their children's education. And I'm going to stand up for parents and children. And everywhere I go to a football game the other night, and parents are just streaming out of the stands saying, Glenn, help our children, save our schools. Teachers are saying, please, let us teach these children how to think and stop teaching them what to think. Terry McAuliffe represents big government. I represent Virginians.
We appreciate it, Glenn. Real quick at the end here, a lot of folks are being given pink slips because of COVID shots. Can we get an amnesty for them when you get in, or something? Somehow they can get their jobs back after all this is said and done.
Yeah, this is Terry McAuliffe's, I'd say, biggest lie. His biggest lie is that he thinks he's helping people. Well, first of all, Terry McAuliffe just 6 or 7 weeks ago said that businesses should be allowed to make these decisions. And then he must have watched something in California and decided he was going to tell businesses to fire people for not getting a vaccine. I mean, we're trying to come out of this pandemic. We ranked 44th in the nation in job recovery. We're trying to get people back to work. And Terry McAuliffe wants to fire them. It's beyond me, his view that what he thinks is right, and he's going to make life difficult. That's what he said. He said it on television. I'm going to make life difficult for people who don't agree with him. Joe, I'm going to go to work for Virginians. We're going to get people back to work. I think people should get the vaccine, but I'm not going to mandate it and force employers to fire people. We're going to stand up for Virginians' rights as individuals, for their children, for their jobs. We're going to let you keep your money instead of taxing it all over the place like Virginia does. And we're going to make sure our communities are safe by standing up for law enforcement. This is such a straightforward decision, Virginia. Let's get moving and send Terry McAuliffe back to the swamp that he came from, and let's make Virginia the best place in America to live, work, and raise a family.
Glenn, and again, I always bury this until the end. You can find him online at youngkinforgovernor.com. And
youngkinforgovernor.com. Join us, get out and vote. Boy, we have this, just as I said, just an absolute groundswell of support across the Commonwealth. Get a red sign, put it in your yard, get out and vote. And Virginians, we're going to do something that's going to make a statement around this country that this left, liberal, progressive agenda has no place